Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. I have spent the time in between the episodes, which was a few days. I thought I'd just take a moment for a little bit and recoup and think about what I'm going to do. And I have now filled out my storage system. I've got all of the chests in I want. So I've got stone, wood, more wood, farming stuff, nether and ends, lights, some kind of semi-misc stuff over here, sand and gravel, more pumpkins and like villager things over here, rare resources and some junk chests. So I've done all that. I do need to move that portal down at some point, hopefully soon, because I need to figure out how this room is going to get laid out. And now that I have the chests here, I know what I want to do. I might even move it up into a place up there. But that is not the focus of today. All of that, this is just off-camera stuff. What we are doing today is we are going to be fixing the fact that I don't seem to have a second floor, nor do I have an entrance. So the first things first is I'm probably going to start thinking about where I'd like the start of the house to be, because if I go outside here, you can see that there's kind of quite a nice space there maybe, which would probably be quite nice. Although I don't know if I just want to have like direct access to the basement first thing, like if I want to go straight up into the main part of the house, but since I'm probably going to be using the downstairs area a lot more than the other parts, I'll probably end up just putting a hole there. So I've got to figure out how this path wants to go, how it's going to connect up to everything else. But yeah, hopefully in this episode we should be doing a fair bit of building. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to crack on and make the side of the house an entrance. So that's pretty much been done. I actually just finished this up. It didn't take too long to do, only 3 weeks. But yeah. So this is all done. This is a kind of terraformed area. It goes pretty far out. Some of that grass still needs to grow back, but I think it's mostly cleared up now. It looks a lot better than it was earlier. So yeah, now that that's done, I've already started work on the interior in here, working on getting the stairs up. I'm going to start actually working on the second floor in this episode. I'm thinking how many rooms I want. I mean, in this place I can make a main hallway. I can have a bunch of rooms. I'm thinking, since I want to put stuff here, I'm thinking of moving my nether portal up to the second floor, where it's a bit more, there's more space. So I might do that. So I think without further ado, I'm just going to get on with that right now. That's now all done, and I've even started on the layout of the walls on the side. I think for the interior here, since this is up against a cliff wall, I don't really need much here, so I'll leave it as is for now, probably as some decoration later on. Over here there's going to be a nice window because I think this gets a really good view of the sunset and the mountains over there. I'll probably also have windows over here and something over here. But yeah, for now, I think this is mostly done. I think the next thing I'm going to do is replace my nether portal around here, just so that it's back, I can use the nether. I might need to do something about the zombies coming through, but I don't think that should be too much of an issue. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish up doing the walls and the windows, and I think I'll probably be done by then. Right, little addendum here in the video since I don't know where else to put it in right now, but I'm so sorry for anyone watching. The amount of times I say I think is actually started to annoy me myself. I'm going to phrase that out of my speech. I'm going to try my absolute hardest to do that. Also, I am sorry that I seem to take so long to do this, or that the video just seems to be like, oh yeah, it's fine, it'll be happening in a week. I did not realize how much work I had, and also how much of a setback there was, as you'll see later in the video. But this took way longer than I seem to make it seem, so just putting it out there. Anyway, back to the video. Alright, small interior update now. I've separated off the rooms, so we have my nether portal in here. We've got a currently unused room here as well. I think I might make this into some kind of farm at some point. In here, I'm thinking this might be the bedroom. Still need to finish up the rest of the interior in here, and I've also added an archway here to sort of cordon off this part of the house, which is more of like a looking out and doing things, and this part, which is more practical purposes. So what I'm going to do now is I think instead of continuing with my work on the base or the interiors, I'm going to start work on the roof. And easier said than done, because the roof requires a lot of spruce to go through. I mean, this might not even be enough. Now I've stop work on the rest of the roof because firstly I've run out of all 10 stacks, or yeah, about 10, 11 stacks of wood I had. But so far it's going along quite well. As you can see, I've got this area here, this slightly lower down area, that's all done. This area over here still needs to go downwards, so probably still a few stacks to go. So I'm growing some over there, but for now, I think I'm just going to crack on with getting all of this done. Alrighty, now the roof is done, and I can get to work on the inside, which I've done a tiny bit of work you might have seen earlier on, but for the most part it's still relatively untouched. I'm thinking of putting a chicken farm, so a cooked chicken farm over here. This would be my bedroom, and I'm not sure what I want to put in these two spaces. Maybe some like coffee tables or something, just some decoration in here. It's not really going to be a used area. Similar thing over here. Most of the actual grunt work of owning the base is going to be down here in the basement, where I'm thinking of having the super smelter and storage before I move on to other things. So that's the general idea of things I want to do up here, and I think I'm just going to crack on with that. There's nothing really stopping me from doing this. You know, now that this room's really coming together, I like the atmosphere up here. It feels a lot more cozy and less, like, open and huge. And I really quite like it here. I'm thinking... So, as I mentioned earlier, or I might not have done actually, over here I'm thinking of having like a small, like, meeting area, maybe some armor sets on the walls, some trophies maybe, and a bit of a view out over here to where I might build more things. I probably will do something over there and over there. I need to move those sheep into something more permanent. But overall, I think the plans generally around here are pretty finalized. I've just got to get the roofs in places like here and actually finish up doing the side bit. So where the roof is open, I need to sort of close that off so that it doesn't look so, I guess, nasty. Well, not nasty, but it doesn't look like this, basically. So I think I'm just going to do that then, and that shouldn't take too long. I don't think so anyway. So I'll see you again in a short moment. And at long last, the roof is finally done. I added the little strips there so that it kind of broke it up. At first, it looked very monotonous, so you couldn't really tell the difference between the wood here on the wall and the wood on the roof. I might even change what type of wood that is in the long run, but for now, I like how it is. So the next thing to get on with, I suppose, is now just filling it with stuff. I think the first thing I need to do is probably working on that chicken farm, because this is all the food I have in the world. All of this chicken is pretty much everything I will be able to eat before I need to go get more. So it's probably a good idea to set that up. Also, my mic is really loud, I'm sorry. With this area now got some decoration in, I think having just a little table here instead of an empty corner is a good idea. I added the barrels, they're probably not going to get used. And we have some armor stands here. There's no armor on them, but I'll probably add that in future dates. But I think now, with this area done, I need to go in here and work out how on earth I'm going to build the chicken farm, because I think the traditional design does fit across here, but the lava could cause fire damage. So I'm going to have to experiment with this, and I will probably just record doing that then. So without further ado, yeah, going to get on with that in my creative test world. In order to cook the chickens alive, I need some lava, and fortunately enough for me, there's a piece of lava right over here, which has inconvenienced me since the very first day. And I think it's probably about time I take it for my own. Project now done and dusted. The chickens are in there, as you can hear, and I think it's pretty much set up for working now. I'm just going to go double check everything is actually as it should be. Yeah, okay, that looks good. So it's a pretty basic chicken farm design. It's a fairly classic one. Just involves having at least one egg in there, which there currently aren't any, which powers the comparator, which when it goes into the hopper, which powers that redstone, which makes the dispenser fire. Yeah, so pretty basic design, as I said, and I think just going to have to wait for all those baby chickens to grow up. Then we should have a pretty infinite source of roast chicken. So I'm going to go AFK for about an hour, and when we come back we should see how much chicken we have. I made a little bit of a mistake when building the chicken farm. You see, I had the notion that it would not catch on fire, that having, just a bit of lava there, that would be fine. It's resulted in most of the roof going up in flames. I've been replacing it over time, but I'm really frustrated with this. So if you ever see me in later episodes getting really angry at this thing, I hope you understand why. But yeah, this will set us back a little bit, but it should be done, okay? This was very stupid, but it should be done soon. So I'm just going to have to get on with that, and it should all go smoothly, because I've tested this in a creative test world, and this should stop flames from appearing on objects. If it does, I don't know what I'm going to do. Reparations have now been done, and I think it's back to how it was before. A couple things like the trapdoors didn't burn, so that meant laying things out wasn't a bit of a headache. I've even expanded and done more sealing over here. It's just that everything feels more enclosed and complete. But I think that's actually the inside of the base done. And I'm actually really happy with what we've got here. I don't know what to do with this space, and there's still some stuff in here I need to do. But I think this is pretty good. Now, just before we end and we wrap up, I think I'm going to work on doing a tiny super smelter for us, because I think we're going to need some material smelting and using furnaces manually. I haven't used much yet, but I know that later on we will definitely be needing to use a lot of furnaces. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to tear these out, and I'm going to build a very simple, very small super smelter to go in this corner. Now, it's not the most glamorous thing I've ever built, but it gets the job done. And with building this, I probably suppose that before I wrap up this video, I want to explain why I was gone. The TLDR of it is I was busy, I was doing other things. I had real life stuff to do, that horrible thing. So that's the main reason I was gone. But yeah, hopefully I'm back to making videos. Maybe not weekly, that was a bit much, but maybe bi-weekly or just, whenever I have time. But I'll try to get videos out as much as possible. But anyway, guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a short one, it probably really was. I haven't actually seen the runtime yet, but it probably wasn't as long as some of my other ones. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like, and if you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. That's me, Paperzlel, and I'm out. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.